Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ryan, but of course you guys know me as Shook Ya. I hope you're having a good day. Saturdays are always nice. As for this game, you guys are in for a treat. What if I told you that I scored 47 points with Kobe Bryant in this game? What if I told you that I scored those 47 points in the first half? And what if I told you that Kobe Bryant ended up with a total of 76 points and he didn't even finish the fourth quarter? And what if I told you that I did it against a guy who was undefeated? Okay, well, you may have seen that he was only 1-0, but that still counts as undefeated, right? Alright, so here's a little rundown of this gameplay. This matchup started off normal, but all of a sudden I started stringing together some really good shots, and I ended up putting together a 26-point first quarter. So that's what a good portion of this 9 minutes will be of, and that's what you're watching right now, the complete first quarter. As for the remaining time, I put together the rest of Kobe's 76 points into a little montage, so you can see how most of my offense is generated. And that's up until Moves, the dude who I got matched up with, gives up. But now for what I'm trying to teach you in this video. I want you to learn where to and what to start looking for when picking your team. The team that you end up being most comfortable with and the team that you use when you're trying your ass off. And as you may know, my try-hard team is the Lakers. But I'm an advocate for using them if you're a beginner, and also if you've been playing 2K12 for a while now and still haven't decided which team to put most of your trust in. But even if you have decided on a team that you use all the time, these tips will still be extremely beneficial to you. They'll definitely make you a lot better. So if you watched my first commentary, you should remember that I said if we continue this series, I'd get a little bit more into the how-to style and give you guys more of a tutorial on how to be unbeatable at 2K12. And since the only comment that I got on that video said, keep uploading NBA from Hip Hop Harry 21 with 3 R's, that's what I've decided to do for gameplay commentary number 2, which is this video right here. Now you'll be immortalized in one of my videos as my very first active subscriber for 2K12. So on to the mission of this video. In this episode, I'm going to start integrating the play-by-play aspect of commentating a little bit more so I can help you guys understand the ins and the outs of this game. So this is the first 3 things you need to be great at NBA 2K12. The number one thing you're going to want to have when putting together a strategy for NBA 2K12 is to have a go-to scoring option. That scoring option is normally a combination of a player and that player's best move. So on any given play, you can create some space between you and your defender and give yourself a 50% or better chance of scoring. And I say 50% just because you'll have to test it out. That's like what you'll be aiming for. If you can't get a fast break bucket or an easy layup on a possession, you want to have a way to create some offense for yourself. You can always resort to the playbook and call a play on offense, but that doesn't always work. So like I said, when picking your go-to move, you won't actually know how effective it is unless you do it over and over and get used to it and get comfortable with it. And the way you do that is you play against good people, and when you get smothered on defense, you just test it out. And for example, this move can be a variety of different things with a variety of different players. It could be like a step back with Chris Paul. It could be a spin move with LeBron James. Maybe like a post-up fadeaway with Carmelo Anthony. Like a pull-up with Westbrook or Durant. Or in my case, and my recommendation to you guys, a leaner with Kobe Bryant. The second thing you want to have is a solid lineup of players, especially perimeter spot-up shooters. And you're going to want to have at least one low post player. You could go with all shooters and spread out the offense, but having a center on the floor will help out your defense greatly. But we'll get to defense in just a second. Anyway, you're going to want to have all these plan Bs so that you can kick it out to one of them if you get double teamed, if your go-to scoring option gets double teamed, or you drive to the basket and collapses defense on you. And that's definitely a reoccurring theme when you play online. When you play some online warriors, they like to switch to a zone and swarm the shit out of the paint. But yeah, I got a little bit off topic. And anyway, if you're wondering how to know like which players to pick, you're going to want to go back to the last video and take note of how I break down the jump shot and the rating system of each player. But anyway, on to the third and the most important thing that you want to make sure you have is a killer defensive game. When you're putting together your first team, your intuition tells you to start all of the team's highest rated players, right? And that's right to some extent. but there are a lot of things that factor into picking a great lineup, like height or each player's defensive capabilities. If you want to master the online world, you must create a strong defense. But that's only after you know how to score. Hence, the number one option, or the number one thing to know, is how to have a go-to scoring option. My Lakers, for example, are picked almost exclusively for defense, with the exception of my facilitator and Kobe Bryant. But the main thing you want to do is have a team put together according to their on-ball and low-post defensive ratings. Matt Barnes is my highest-rated on-ball defender with an 88, followed by Kobe with an 86, and then by Ron Artest with an 85. The low-post defense is just a little bit different. Matt Barnes is 67, Kobe is 70, and Ron Artest an 86. So my game plan with these three defenders is to put Matt Barnes on any three-point shooters like Nick Young from the Clippers, J.R. Smith from the Knicks, or James Harden from OKC. Because he gets in their face and closes out extremely well. And that allows me to put Ron Artest on their best player and Kobe on their second option. And it's really hard to score on the Lakers with this setup, especially in the hybrid zone that I play. Alright, so now we're going to pick up the commentary of the video. And right here I hit this fall away three at the buzzer. I knew I was going to have some fun if Kobe was going to be that zeroed in all game. So there you have it, the first quarter, 26-9. And now this montage is starting. One thing I want to address really quick is getting that steal that you saw just before the montage started. I kicked it back to Kobe Bryant, who was running back across half court, and I jammed the timeout button because of two reasons. One, because I wanted Kobe to be rested for that last second shot that you just saw. And two, because if you ever get a steal from a press, you have to be extremely careful of backcourt violations. Especially if you play on the 2K camera like this is right here. There's a couple of different camera options that you can have, and if you play on 2K, when the possession changes, the camera flips around, and that can cause you to run backwards and forwards when you get a steal, and that's not good to do by the half court line. But you need to make the most out of every possession so that you can build a good lead and give yourself a cushion to handle any defensive meltdowns that you might have throughout the game. So remember, it's important to use your timeouts to give yourself extra possessions. When in doubt, call a timeout. That's so fucking corny. Okay, so here's another good thing to address really quick. Hot zones. You may have noticed that most of these fadeaways that I shoot, like right there, and make, are coming from the same spots. And this is because I have taken note of the specific hot zones that Kobe Bryant has. Hot zones can be found in practice mode and will give you an idea of like where to shoot, but also where not to shoot, and that's with each player. Each player has their own set of hot zones. Kobe's hot zones are located in the paint, down the right block, and out on the perimeter along the sideline. These spots will either help or hurt your chance of your shot going in. Yeah. Oh, I remember this part. When I was playing this fourth quarter, I really wanted to see if I could break my personal record for total points in a single game and the most points scored in a game with one player. But yeah, he paused it and he ended up quitting, and I was like, no, like while he was quitting, and sure enough, he pressed yes and peaced out. So after the game, I sent him this message asking him why he quit, and I told him that I was going to put it up on YouTube, and then I said I had a lot of fun, and I told him to subscribe if he wanted to see himself getting destroyed in montage form. So as we wrap this video up and take a look at these stats here, I have a question for you. Or I have a couple questions for you. Do you like the format for these commentaries so far? What do you like to see? What didn't you like to see? And most importantly, how do you want to watch the games? Should I keep it like this, which is just picking the best quarter and adding in some highlights from the rest of the game? Or should I just show one full quarter and keep the videos short? Maybe just the fourth quarter? So with that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment or ask a question if you have anything in mind. And if you want to play me, just hit me up. And that's pretty much it. Peace out.